Hi folks, today I want to share a completely crazy, silly, and I'm nearly certain that it's also fake rumor. I got it from a news source through the contact form I have on the website. You can see the contact form here. If you have a real rumor to share, you can use it or also contact me via email. Anyway, a new anonymous source sent me this info. He's from Asia. And normally I do not share unreliable info, so sorry for that. I try to be reliable, but today I'm sharing it for a certain reason. First of all, it's nice to hear something that is completely different anyway and to discuss about this, but also because I think I would actually love this to be true. And I know it's not going to happen, but I would love this to be true. So let's go straight to this totally nonsense rumor I got from a not trusted source, but completely anonymous. Basically, he says that this week, yes, this coming week, Sony would announce a Sony A7L, L stands for Luma, and it would basically be a camera with a black and white sensor only. So imagine something like a monochrome or the Pentax monochrome camera, but from Sony. It's not silly from a technical point of view. Sony could definitely do it. It's silly because I think it's not going to happen and it's not something that Sony wants to do, but I would love this to be true. I would be so happy to see such a camera because it would allow you to to be in a niche that is me as a photographer find very interesting, because having a black and white sensor gets rid of a couple of limitations from Bayer sensors, like reduced resolution and so forth. So you would have very sharp images with increased dynamic range, so you would have the best image quality possible that you can get out of a Bayer sensor. I love black and white, and I would love to have a camera that is only capable of shooting black and white, also because if you take this camera with you, you go out, you also think differently, because black and white photography needs different kind of subjects than the classic RGB photography, color photography. So for me as a photographer, I would love to get this, but I'm sure this is not going to happen. So let's just read for fun what the source said. Sony has prepared an ultra high density preservation camera for IBC Amsterdam, the Alpha A7L, a black and white camera with an Exmor R image sensor where L stands for Luma. It has an effective pixel count of 48 megapixels and supports full frame uncropped 8K 30p and 4K 60p recording. It's worth to be released at IBC show because it can consistently record high quality uncropped FHD video, a feature in line with Sony's flagship broadcast cameras such as the HTC 5500. Folks, it has to be fake. I cannot see a reason why people would actually record videos in black and white. There is really 0.001 market for this. Yeah, probably some creative movies and whatever. But so I'm sure this is fake. But I'm taking the chance to say, like, yes, Sony, it would be nice if you would do a sort of Sony A7R black and white camera, highest dynamic range possible, just to show off what's possible to achieve with a full frame sensor. So folks, don't get excited about this. And Sony is quite mainstream and is not going often into niches, so I don't see a chance of this happening. Like many other cameras that I would love to see, like for example higher aps-c camera, Sony a7000, or a medium format camera from Sony. Those are all niche ideas that Sony doesn't feel, or as of yet have shown they have no interest to make such products. While some motor manufacturers are a bit more innovative and courageous, like for example Fuji and so forth, Sony tends to focus more on the mainstream products, and there's little room left for something out of the box. I know they do a lot of innovation when it comes to sensor and tech. That's no doubt where Sony is leading, also in the lens tech. But when it comes to the product palette, I would love to see something different, and I think it would create a lot of attention. It wouldn't cost that much for Sony. It wouldn't be that of a risk. And a black and white model is one of the ideas, but also one of the other ideas I mentioned before, but also having a camera that has a different body design, like a more larger DSLR design. But let me know in the comment system what you think about the idea of having a Sony camera with black and white sensor, if this would be something interesting for you, or if you have any other ideas where you think that Sony should try to make something different. Now in my next videos I will go back to the reality of more reliable rumors, talk to you about the Sony A7 IV, the A1 II, that are probably the two next alpha full-frame cameras coming between now and the next 6-7 months. After that there will be also, next year there will be also probably FX3 successor. I don't think there is an A7R6, at least that's not what I got, and like I told you in my previous video, I got no info though at all about the A7S3 successor, so no news in the meantime about this camera, but the A7 V and the A1 II are definitely hot candidates for the next releases for when it comes to alpha cameras. Folks, if you liked what I'm doing, again, like this video and all other videos you will watch in the future, this will happen in the YouTube algorithm. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss some of the more reliable rumors coming after this one I published today. See you soon.